What's poppin', y'all? Another streamer, YouTuber, really more of a YouTube legend, at least in the 2K side of things. Cash Nasty has had it up to here with Los Angeles, and he wants to get out of there after getting robbed for a second time. Which is like, damn, man. I think he's been living there for a couple of years, but I'm going to play you guys the clip right now. Then we're going to get into his background a little bit and then talk about whether LA is as trash as they say it is.
I am sick and tired of LA. I hate LA. I even told y'all, bro. Like, every time I fly in from my hometown, like Louisiana or another state, especially Louisiana, as soon as I come in California, dog, like, I feel like my spirit just goes, it gets depleted. Even before, like, I'm even touchdown, my girl would be like, man, what's wrong? Like, why you mugging? You know, I'm like, I can't help how I feel. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the second time that I have my car been robbed. I live in a good area of LA. This is the second time my car got robbed. So today, I went to go meet Chris at the park, tall guy, LSK. I went to an organic grocery store. I literally got a parking spot right up front of the building. I walk in the store. I get an alarm on my phone. I'm like, bro, there's no way. Bro, I literally just came in the store. Came to my car going off. Somebody literally went in, popped my back window again, and went and got the next diaper bag. Diaper bag. Are y'all that down bad in life? Nothing but diapers in there. Bro, the footage I have seen, bro, they literally came in like right behind my car, like normal, y'all. Wait till everybody left, got out the car, boom, went back, quick. Didn't even do this right here. I do got a tent, y'all. It's not the strongest, but I do got a tent. Didn't even do this. If you that bad to be stealing like children stuff, bro, like diapers and strollers, bro, I know life is terrible. Yes, I am in the process of moving, so I am getting out of LA, y'all. I told y'all that. Yes, I'm moving out of LA. I hate LA, y'all. It's not, bro. I think I seen like Illuminati talked about it, bro. It's not a flex to be in LA. If you got bread, man, if you already got your career going, bro, I would not tell anybody to move in LA, man.
I've had, so if you read his tweet, he talks about second time, and it's a Tesla too. So he walks into the grocery store, they smash the window of the Tesla. They know this is the crime in America, in particular LA, is so brazen that they know there's cameras on a Tesla, and they just walk up, smash the window, and they take what's in there. And he says, they stole my baby stroller. Second time in the last year this happened to me. They stole my baby stroller and Gucci diaper bag. I didn't even know they had Gucci diaper bag about 9 months ago. Now they stole my second diaper bag. I'm guessing it's another Gucci diaper bag, or maybe he went Team LV. LA is trash, man. And I'm in the good part of town. Window costed a pretty penny to fix also. These are the types. So there's a couple of things here. The first thing you already know is the LA defenders, the crime defenders, not just LA defenders, because people across the US will say some nonsense like this, which is, dog, like and I would probably say this too if I was that insensitive. Like, you guys know me, like, I'm an empath, you know? Is that what they call it? Like, I couldn't hurt somebody's feelings like that. But what they would say, not me, of course, is, man, you got Gucci logo, you got Gucci on the back seat. Come on, man, what do you expect? Of course they're gonna break it. They know exactly what they're gonna get. It's not even a mystery box. Imagine buying a mystery box and it's free, right? The mystery box is free, but you know what's inside the mystery box. It's a transparent box or a transparent bag, like what you got to take into young boy shows. They're like, oh, I get to see exactly what I want to get. Okay, smash. Take it, nice, just to come up. Well, they don't care. It's funny because Cash Nasty's like, yo, there's just diapers in there. They don't care about the diapers. They're gonna throw the diapers out and they're gonna go sell the bag, or they're gonna go flex the bag. Taking the stroller is insane. And this is also where, like, you know, Cash Nasty's got such a good heart, because he's like, man, you know, I know life must be terrible. I know life must be tough. Nah, some people just love this game. Like, their life isn't tough, and their life may be tough because of their own decision making. Because we can't act like people are in certain positions solely because of other circumstances, or that people would only steal if they needed it. Nah, people will steal for anything. You only really need food, shelter, water. So what are they stealing for? They're not stealing food. They're stealing a diaper bag in this case. So some people, even if they're up, they're still going to steal. They're thieves. I mean, like, yo, look at people running Ponzi schemes, things like that. Those are just higher grade theft. But if a person's a thief, is a thief. But going back to the situation with Cash Nasty, because I disagree with him a little bit in the part where he's talking about, oh, if you've already got bread, LA is not worth it. Living in LA, that's one hell. I feel like I like LA, but it's death by 1,000 cuts. That's what made me dislike it. I've been going there for, well, I don't even know since when, a very long time. Of course, the weather is amazing, but then you get tiny little things like, oh, traffic. You either have to deal with the traffic. Number one, you have to drive everywhere. And who the hell wants to? I don't got a car. So now you're going to have to buy a car. So you got to drive everywhere. And then in order to drive everywhere, especially if you're working a 9 to 5, oh, you got to deal with a nightmare of traffic. So you have to schedule your life around traffic if you don't have a 9 to 5, which is already a blessing in and of itself if you're in that situation, the situation without a 9 to 5. But you got to schedule your outings. It's a bunch of mini cities. So, oh, if someone's in, hell, I don't even know, like someone's in North Hollywood and another person's in Redondo Beach, it's like, and who else? Another person is in Westwood. You're not going to those 3 places in a day. It's going to be a lot of driving, and you're not going to see much. Or let's say another person's in Malibu, right? Like those are all quote unquote LA, I guess, but they're so far apart. So that starts to kill you. And then the homeless is just outrageous, the drugs and the theft. And it's brazen theft. It's like nothing you will see in most places that aren't terrible neighborhoods. Like other places, you're like, okay, I could probably get robbed here. In LA, you're like, oh, this is nice. Boom, you just got robbed. In Miami, that doesn't happen either. Although I personally am not a fan of Miami. Cash Nasty is also, he's a country guy, man. He is full on country. Like if you took Cash Nasty and put him in New York, I could not imagine Cash Nasty in New York. I think he would lose his mind in New York too. And New York is less, you're not going to get robbed like you are. People are not breaking your car and stealing stuff. Well, partially because in Manhattan, people are not driving around everywhere. And that's where most people choose to live if they're moving into New York City. So Cash Nasty, he's a real country guy. And I think he maybe like struck that balance, and he does content. But I didn't know how country Cash Nasty was until I discovered that people eat raccoon from a Cash Nasty video. I remember like they caught a raccoon, he skinned that thing, they cooked it in a video he did in the past, and I was just jaw dropped. Like, what's that? Is that Johnny Bravo where his jaw just drops to the ground? And I just stood there staring at this video that was at least 15 minutes long. It might have been 15 to 25 minutes. Like, yo, this guy's really about to cook and eat this raccoon. He's not trolling. That's when I knew there was levels to this country stuff. So for him, he's so out of his element. But when he talks about like having money, sure. For example, Zeus and Bilu, they've got bread. Zeus has lived in Oklahoma. I believe it's Oklahoma. Somewhere in the middle of nowhere for a very long time. And he's got a giant crib, but Zeus isn't in the mix like that. And I think Zeus, from what I gather, he seems like a more introverted guy just from his behavior. It doesn't mean he's shy or anything. Clearly not. But he does his own content. He's out of the mix. But he doesn't have that proximity to other people. Like in the industry that Cash Nasty is in, if he wants to collaborate with a bunch of people, if he wants to network with a bunch of people, LA is it. That's just what it has. There are great people in LA. There are obviously like clout chasers and all of that too. But the reason why he went there in the first place is to collaborate with these people, especially if you're doing in-person stuff. And especially if somebody's involved in streaming, then you have to be in LA if you're in the US. Maybe Miami, but I don't even really see people stream in Miami. Vegas, I would say. Like Vegas is like a closer version of, it's not similar to LA, but it's close enough to LA that people just live in Vegas. It's way cheaper. I guess like the taxes are lower and they can go back and forth. But Vegas, living there is, that place gets so hot and dry. But the stage of life that Cash Nasty is in right now, it makes sense for him to go back home. It sounds like he misses home. He even said that he's going to move back, or he's going to move out of LA. I don't know if he's going to move back to Louisiana, because that's another thing. Like when you're moving to a place like that, I think he would even talk about how he he couldn't buy too nice of a car because that's how dangerous, or that's how much poorer Louisiana is than LA. But even in LA, when he's just got a Tesla, it's not like he's got a super special. Hold up, let me see the. Yeah, it looks like a Model Y. That's what it looks like. So it's not even a Model X or anything like that. Not a super special car. He's not trying to stand out, and still this happens to him. And personal situations like this happening twice, you would be crazy to stay unless there was like such outsized returns. And I think Cash Nasty, he's more on his solo stuff right now, doing his own streams. He's trying to come up again as a streamer. So he's like, yo, if I'm just chilling at the crib streaming most of the time, what the hell am I doing here? My quality of life is lower, so I'm just going to get out. So I think for his situation, it makes a lot of sense. But for someone that wants to have random encounters, meet a person that may introduce you to someone else, it still is the place like that, as unfortunate as it is to say. But the problem with LA that's different from a lot of other neighborhoods in cities across America is that there's kind of no such thing as a safe neighborhood, because a lot of these safe neighborhoods, quote unquote, are really close to dangerous neighborhoods, and then people just drive over. They'll do their robbery where the money is at, and then they'll go back home. So you either have to move so far out of LA that nobody's going to drive down that far, or you move out. And that's partially moving out already. And the expense is just so much higher. It's astronomical if you move out of LA to the safer parts. So Illuminati, it makes sense that he would live, I think he lives in the middle of Arizona, or I think he lives in Phoenix, not in the middle of Arizona, but he lives in Arizona, because who does So Illuminati collaborate with? Who is So Illuminati doing stuff with? So Illuminati likes to stay to himself. So that makes sense. But if somebody is liking to collaborate with a ton of other people in person, you can't be living in Oklahoma. You cannot be living in Kansas. You cannot stay living in, I wouldn't say Chicago, but even in Chicago, right? Everybody that's got quote unquote motion, they're in LA. Even I think a lot of people don't want to be, which is funny because there's a collective of people that are in LA because it benefits them, but they all don't want to be in LA. And logic just says, well, why doesn't everybody from there just move somewhere else? And you're like, well, that makes sense. Like at one point, Austin, Texas was a hub for, I would say, the previous generation of streamers, but they did completely different content from these guys. But like people like, I don't know if Pokimane was, I think Pokimane's always been LA, but like XQC and a bunch of people that he used to mess with, they were living in Austin for quite a while, at least like 3 years or so. And that became like a little bit of a hub, but I think a bunch of people moved to LA after that. But yeah, I feel bad for Cash Nasty, honestly. And one thing I don't like is when people just start to victim blame the person that gets robbed. It's like, well, how about instead of saying that, oh, yo, like you should just hide it. Yeah, you're correct. He should just not have anything in his vehicle. So if they smash his window, they get nothing, but you still have to repair the smashed window anyway. But I think, to be fair here, I think they only smashed the window because they could see through it. They could see what was inside. But there are times when people just smash the window anyway. So let's say, yeah, he would have to repair the smashed window anyway. Well, how about the person just moves to a place where they don't have to deal with something like this? Like, isn't that what we would all like to live in? But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm going to see y'all in the next one.